Exodus chapter 6 verse 5. Moreover, I've heard the groaning of the people of Israel whom the Egyptians hold as slaves, and I have remembered my covenant. To Moses and say, right, not only did he give Moses a name that he never gave to anyone else, not to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob before. Furthermore, he promised a land to them, right, the land of Canaan, to give to them. They were just sojourners there, but God promised that land to them. And then he made a covenant. In that covenant, he promised that, right? And now he's saying, I remember my covenant. So in other words, this is added information, added security for Moses to know that God who made a promise. And I said it a number of times before, right? Remember, faith is not based upon thin air, right? The mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, right? But faith is ultimately based upon the character of God. So God promised, God keeps his word. And this is what he's saying here, right? So I remember, this is extra. So I gave you the special name. I promised, I made covenants with them and I promised them. And I remember that covenant. So this is the basis for why I am going to do this. In the beginning, he said Pharaoh will send him out. But Pharaoh will send him out strong. And not because of who Pharaoh is, but because of who God is, the great I am. Verse 6, say therefore to the people of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will deliver you from slavery to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great acts of judgment. Okay, so the focus in this verse is so much just on God. I am, I will, right? This is, I remember now I was thinking that says I will, and I've mentioned this in another video as well. I just remind us, mentioned again. There's one time at the school, Christian school in Thailand, we went to this retreat and whatever, and you know, there was this pastor, there was the singing songs, the worship time, you know, the worship where worship is about music. Anyhow, and that song had lots of I's in it as well. But the I was always human, not God, human. I think the word God was mentioned, or something similar to God was mentioned once, but I, me, my, and those Christians, this is a Christian, supposedly a Christian school, supposedly a Christian worship song. I, but man, I. This is not man, I, this is God, I am, speaking. I am, I will. Hugely important thing. So Moses had to tell the people of Israel, understand with the Hebrews, that I am the Lord, right? And I, in other words, God, Yahweh, this name that he never gave before, even to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the one who remembered his covenant, who will make Pharaoh send him out. He will do it. He will bring him out from under these burdens. The burdens feel so super bad now at this moment, so super, they just can't stand anymore. The spirits are broken, as we're going to see later on in this chapter. But God will bring them out. He will deliver them. I am, again, I am. I will deliver, right, from slavery. I will redeem with an outstretched arm, right? An outstretched arm that shows the power and the might of God, the almightiness of God. I am. I am set. I am keep his words. This is who God is. I will do this. Moses, tell that to the people. You can trust me. Look through your history. Even before, I never broke my word, and then these guys didn't even have my name. Now you got it. Moses, how much more will I not break it now? How much more will I keep my covenant, and I will do what I've said? Because I am God. I am who I am. Yes, and in the end of the verse, a mention of great acts of judgment. It's going to be judgment on Israel, on Egypt, not on Israel and Egypt. But later on, Israel for all their sins will be judged as well. But now there's a judgment on Egypt for what they have done to the people of God, knowingly done to the people of God. They will be judged for this. So all of these things, it's just a question of Pharaoh is not going to want to let go, and therefore it's just a spiteful God hitting him just because he can. But it is ultimately because of its judgment as well at the same time. So Pharaoh hardening his heart will make the judgment on him just even worse, justifiably so. There is judgment, right? There is judgment. There is judgment. Verse 7, I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God, who has brought you out from under the burden of the Egyptians. Right? They were people. Now God's reminding them again, He will take them out. All of them, not just a family of 70, not just Abram, but all of them, all couple of million of them. He will take them out. He who is God will make, like He promised before to Moses, He will make, to Abram, sorry. He is the one to make a name with them. So Abram is a blessing. Why? Because God made a name for him. That means because God is with him. Abram was not a blessing to the world because of who Abram was, because he was a Jew. No way. He was a blessing to the world because of that God was with him. God was the reason he's a blessing. Like we as a church are the reason that the world is blessed through the church, not because of who we are, because we're a bunch of sinners redeemed by God, but because of the fact that God, the Spirit, is with us. That is the reason. Not because of who we are, because of who God is. So He will make a people. He will be their God. So God is doing this. Not again their choice. God's actions, Christians. Let it sink into your thick skulls. You always think that you are the ones who chose God. Man, that's nonsense. The Israelites didn't choose God. God brought them out. God made a covenant with them. Oh yeah, you can go say, yeah, but they cried out to God. Why did they cry out to God? First and foremost. And yes, and then we'll know that I am the Lord your God. I am, or again, the focus on this name now that God just is so strong here. To remind them, to show again that you have something that nobody ever before had. None, no Abraham, no Isaac, no Jacob, they did not have this name. Right? And that will make them know that God is the Lord your God, the one who brought them out of slavery. They will know it. They will be able to tell their children and their grandchildren. And thousands of years later, I can stand here in Yangon at this lake, at the sign of We Love Yangon, and I can say this. I can say that God is the one who did them out. And we have more revelation because we have Christ. I can say that Jesus led me, not because I made a choice, but because He led me. Not because of anything I did, but because of His grace. He led me out of slavery to sin. Yes, I still sin, but I'm not a slave to sin anymore. We have extra. I can tell you all these things because of who God is. Not who I am, because of who God is. The great I am, who by His grace made me His son, like He made you His children, all of those who believe in Jesus. Yes, the one who brought you out of the burdens of Egyptians, the one who brought you out from the slavery of sin. Okay, just go around again. There's actually not a lot of people out there.